Hey guys, welcome to Streak Initiative, and like in this week we are covering polity topics for your Prelims 2021. Use these videos as a break between your preparation so that you can revise some of the few topics, connect some of the few ideas, and it will help you out in small intervals. Now, before we move on to the first question of the day, if you want all the material to be compiled at one place and free PDF and UPSC material, then you can register for this particular program and find the link that is present in the description box. Let's move on to the first question of the day. This question relates to Model Panchayat Citizen Charter. Now, Citizen Charter as a topic is important, I think, both from prelims and mains point of view. In mains, you find Citizen Charter both in paper 4 as well and in paper 2 as well. So, the scope of Citizen Charter is very wide. That is why this topic is important. So, let's look at the question here. It's about Model Panchayat Citizen Charter, and you have to identify the correct statement here. So the first statement is Panchayat are responsible for delivery of the basic services as enshrined under the Article 243G of the Constitution of India. Second is that the Charter would ensure transparent and effective delivery of public services and accountable local self-government. Third is that the charter was prepared by Ministry of Panchayati Raj in collaboration of National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. So you have to identify which of the statement is correct. Now the answer for this particular question is actually D. All the statements are correct. See, the Model Panchayati Raj Citizenship Charter is actually delivery of the service, the basic services across the 29 sectors, which would align the task with your sustainable development goals. And why was it in news? Because recently Panchayati Raj Union Minister Shri Narendra Singh Tomar, he released a virtual program which was prepared by Ministry of Panchayati Raj along with this particular organization. So that is why this particular news piece was in your current affairs, and it's good to go through some of the ideas that was behind it. So obviously the basic idea of Citizen Charter is effective delivery and ensuring the quality of services. So by that logic, I think you should have attempted the second statement, that it is absolutely right. Then see, what is going to be different here is that it's going to focus upon the local level services that is to be provided, and it will take care of that particular services. And the plan is that on the 15th August 2021, a resolution will be adopted as per this particular Citizen Charter. Now, this was basically about Model Panchayat Citizen Charter, and you can go through this particular topic from your current affairs, but also have a general idea about what Citizen Charter as a topic includes. Now, Citizen Charter was something as a movement, it started in United Kingdom, and that goes back to say 1991. From that time it started gaining a lot of momentum, and then under the Labour government, in 1998, UK became the first country to bring in Citizen Charter to make sure there's this quality improvement in the working. And at that point of time, there was this movement known as New Public Management Movement, and under those, we had the Citizen Charter which were made. Right, and slowly a lot of different countries started picking up about Citizen Charter, like Australia got it in 1987, then Belgium, there was Canada, there was France, and let's talk about India here. Now, India also brought in the Citizen Charter in 1997. We had a Chief Minister Conference of various states and union territories in 1997, and at that meeting, the resolution or the action plan for Citizen Charter was adopted, and the department which takes care of Citizen Charter at a center level is the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. So make sure you are aware, like this model Citizen Charter was released by Ministry of Panchayati Raj, but as a whole Citizen Charter is under the Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. So that was about Citizen Charter. Now let's move on to the next question, that is Election Commissioner. Now the idea of and the powers that election commissioners and the Chief Election Commissioner enjoy and the differences between them is something that that is important and a lot of times has been asked in the paper. So this is the question relating to that, and why I have put it, because recently an election commissioner was appointed, and that is why this topic came out in your news, right? So the first statement here is that the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commissioner have equal powers and they receive equal salary, which are similar to that of the judges of the Supreme Court. And second is that in case of difference of opinion amongst the Chief Election Commissioner and other commissioners, the matter is decided by the commission by majority. Now, which statement is correct? Now, I think this particular question can be solved with your static knowledge also. Pretty much, if you've done this topic, then I think this question is pretty much easy. So, the answer here is C. Both the statements are correct. They do enjoy the similar level of powers and are equal salary and similar to those of the Supreme Court judges, and in fact it is decided in the decision is taken with respect to majority. And see, one thing you have to be very careful about is we've talked about the appointment here. One thing be careful about is the removal procedure. Now see, Chief Election Commissioner is removed in the same way as the Supreme Court judge. So there's going to be this, the two houses is going to work together, and that kind of inquiry is going to be set, and and in that way it is removed. But if any, any other election commissioner or regional commissioner, that person cannot be removed except on the recommendation of Chief Election Commissioner. So that is the difference here. Just make sure that you do not mess up this part. Otherwise, yeah, all the other portions are almost similar. So the answer for this question is C. And now let us move to the next question of the day. We had a student who actually had written that can you cover more and more portals, more and more things like this which are created by the government. So keeping in view of that comment, I've included this question. So there is this pencil portal that has been created, and it was in news because your Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani, had appealed citizens to report instances of child labor on this particular platform, right? So the first statement here is dealing with what this particular platform is about. So I've actually told you, so it should be easy, that it is an electronic platform developed for enforcement of legislative provisions of national child labor policy. This statement is absolutely right. Next statement is that it works under the control of Ministry of Labour and Employment. Now, I just mentioned that Smriti Irani, who is the Union Minister for Women and Child Development, she had appealed the people. But make no mistake here that it's not under that particular ministry. The ministry which controls this portal is again your Union Ministry for Labour and Employment. So this statement is also right. The answer here is C. And also World Day Against Child Labor is observed on 12th of the June every year around the world. It is ILO, your International Labour Organization has launched this particular day since 2002, and it's been celebrated again and again. And this particular portal, that is Pencil, which is platform for effective enforcement of no child labor, is actually created keeping in view with respect to our national child labor policy, so that the instances can be reported properly and action can be taken on these cases. Another thing is, see, remember, labor is a concurrent list item, right? So even the state government is going to have a lot of role to play here, so that this particular portal is worked or enforced in a proper way. So that is important here, and that is necessary that both the state and the center work together for effective implementation of this particular policy, so that child trafficking can be reduced, right? So that was with the pencil portal. Let's move on to the next question, which is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Now, in 2019, the amendment to this act was also made, and that is why it was a lot in news. And recently an article came out regarding how there have been a lot of less arrest under this particular act. Like when this particular act came out in 2019, one of the major concerns was that there will be a lot of misuse, there will be a lot of arrest made under this particular act. So recently there was a coverage in one of the articles in Hindu which said that all these ideas have been negated, and there was not too many arrests under this particular act. So that is why I've picked up this particular piece of news. Now I think if you remember what that particular act had, then I think this question is a pretty cakewalk. The first statement here is that under UAPA, the period of probe and detention of the accused can be extended to 180 days. And second is that investigation of cases under UAPA must be conducted by officers of the rank of Deputy Superintendent or ACP or above. Now, the answer of this question is actually C. So, yeah, both these statements are pretty much correct here. So, yeah, the period can be extended to 180 days. So, that was one of the major part of this particular act. It deals with terrorist related acts. Arrests are made under this particular criteria. Again, absolute power is provided to the central government in this particular act, and both foreign nationals as well as Indian nationals can be charged under this. And the highest punishment that can be given in this particular act is your death penalty as well as life imprisonment. So if we talk about 2019 related amendments, then there were some amendments made regarding designation of individuals as terrorists. So that definitions were made. Again, the National Investigation Agency, the Director General of this particular agency was given much more powers, right? So that was also, I think, in controversial news, because this would give too much absolute power to the central government for attachment of the property and investigation and all those ideas. And again, the second statement here, that who can start the investigation cases, again this rank was also provided in the Amendment Act. So yeah, both the statements are correct here, and the answer for this particular question is C. Finally, we'll do another bill related question which was recently in news. This is Inland Vessels Bill 2021. The first statement it talks about is that it will approve separate rules framed by the states for registration of inland vessels, and second is it will provide for a central database for recording the details of vessels registration, crew on the electronic portal, and you have to identify which is the incorrect statement here. Now, I think this particular question, even if you don't know exactly what these bills include, you can completely do these questions based upon your trial and error, the Tigdam method. How? See, the first statement here talks about that it will approve separate rules which are framed by the states for registration of inland vessels. Now, usually whenever we talk about national waterways or inland waterways, that particular thing is under union list, right? So all the national waterways is something that union deals with, right? So this particular category is under union. Now also remember one thing, that right now what the government is trying to do is trying to bring everything under one frame, right? We have ENAM where all the AMCs are brought down at one level so that there's consistency of rules and regulations. We are shifting towards labor laws so that they can be made more consistent across all the states. So why would a policy which would actually again promote separate rules across each and every state? So this statement automatically becomes something wrong here, right? So applying that logic, both union list and the common trend what the government is following, I think first statement is wrong here. It is not separate rule, but a unified rule for the entire country. That is the bill aiming to form. Again, the second statement, it provides central database for recording all these stuff. This statement is pretty much correct. Again, if we have a central database, that will bring in more efficiency. It will improve the traffic movement. It will improve the, reduce the issues with respect to issuance of licenses. So basically, central database means ease of doing business, right? So this statement is very much true. So the answer to this question is A. So yeah, so that's it for today's, guys. All the best for your prelims. Keep on studying, keep on attempting more and more mock papers. If you have any other doubts, you can reach to us. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Civilsdaily.